Hey guys, it's Jansen here and welcome back to my channel. Now in today's video, I'm going to be doing a bit of a different style of video. We're going to be talking about how Amazon FBA has impacted my life, how it's changed my life for the better. Now, if you're new to the channel, you won't know this, but I am a very open and transparent guy. I tell it exactly how it is. There's absolutely zero bull. So I am absolutely convinced that when I start talking about the reasons that Amazon FBA has impacted my life, I think you'll actually be pleasantly surprised. So what I've actually just done for like the last half an hour is think of the different reasons, the different ways that Amazon FBA has had a positive impact on my life. And the number one reason is something that I would say has definitely changed my life for the better. And I think that if you're on the fence about doing Amazon FBA, this one reason will actually probably make you think, do you know what, that's something that I'd never actually considered, and hopefully it will make you decide to go ahead with doing Amazon FBA. So before I start doing the discussion, if you are new to the channel, if you haven't watched this before, but you are interested in learning about Amazon FBA or Shopify or e-commerce in general, please do remember to subscribe, because there are going to be loads and loads more videos with those topics for the year ahead. So one of the ways that Amazon FBA has changed my life is that it has taught me lots and lots of transferable business skills. Now, if you're new to the channel, if you haven't seen me before, a quick bit of background is that I started to sell on Amazon FBA just under 2 years ago now. I actually discovered it 2 years ago. And prior to that, I had no e-commerce experience. I'd never set up my own business or anything like that. And now, just 2 years later, I've got multiple businesses. I've got lots of experience with e-commerce in terms of finding suppliers, importing goods, listing creation, marketing, and all things like that. And I completely owe that to Amazon FBA. Now, the best thing about that is that the majority of the skills that I've learned with Amazon FBA are completely transferable. I'm at the minute just starting to set up my own separate websites that aren't reliant on Amazon FBA. And I've got multiple businesses, and I've learned to do all of that with Amazon. So that is one definite way that Amazon FBA has impacted my life, in that it has taught me so many valuable and transferable skills about business. Not only has Amazon FBA equipped me with business skills, but I would say more broadly, it's equipped me with life skills. Now, when I say life skills, what I mean is it has essentially taught me and simplified in my mind how businesses and how Amazon work. So just to kind of give an example of that, 2 years ago, I remember looking around shops and having a look at different products in the shops and things like that. And I would just think there's absolutely no way I could ever do that. I wouldn't know where to get started. I wouldn't know who to contact. In fact, I remember being at work one time and speaking with a friend, and I learned that they just started to sell a product in Waitrose. And I was absolutely gobsmacked, and I just thought, how on earth do they know how to do that? I'd love to do that, but I've just got no idea of where to start. Whereas now, 2 years later, I have a very good understanding, thanks to Amazon FBA, of how businesses work, how I can import goods, basically how I can start any business that I want. In fact, when I go down to the shops these days, when I'm looking at products and their packaging, I'll often think, do you know what, that's not actually that great. I could do a better job than that. So it has equipped me with life skills and confidence that basically anything is possible. Nothing is out of reach. The next reason that Amazon FBA has changed my life is probably one of the most common reasons as to why people want to start to do Amazon FBA. And that is making money. There's absolutely no secret about it. You can make a ton of money with Amazon FBA. And I have been rather lucky in my 2 years of knowing about Amazon FBA. I've launched 3 products. I'm looking at launching another one in the coming months. And I have generated over £300,000, which is incredible and also crazy when you know the fact that I still have my main job. So that 300,000 that's generated, although it's not profit, it's revenue, but that £300,000 of sales that I've been making has been made whilst I've been at work still doing my 9 to 5. Now, the fantastic thing about that is I basically have got a second income stream, and it's allowed me to do so many things that I couldn't have done before. So this year, for example, or last year, for example, I've been on multiple holidays. When we went to New Zealand over the Christmas period, just as a treat to my girlfriend, I upgraded us to premium, which is something that previously I never would have done due to the cost of it. So I'd say that that is a fantastic reason, and one of the reasons as well that it has been life-changing, although for me it is not the number one. And this is where I'm now going to talk about the number one reason for me, and hopefully this will be a pleasant surprise, and it will be something that you really think will probably have a positive impact on your life as well. Now, on this channel I don't really talk about it too much, but my job outside of Amazon FBA in teaching you guys how to smash it is working in investment banking. Now, before I discovered what Amazon FBA was a couple of years ago, I used to work for a small investment bank that was very brutal and had an incredibly cutthroat culture of firing people if they weren't good enough. And in fact, in my second week of joining there, I was really happy and excited to be there because I'd finally broken into investment banking, which is something that I'd wanted to do like for years and years. And two people, they got fired, two juniors. And when I asked why they got fired, I was told, well, the reason is that they weren't good enough. Now, because of that, I started to develop a lot of anxiety, and I basically found very frequently I'd be struggling to sleep because I'd be worrying that maybe the work that I'd done hadn't been good enough. Maybe people, when they were slipping into meeting rooms, were talking about me, wanting to fire me. And I just found that I was constantly worrying about being fired and not being able to pay the mortgage and the bills and anything else that would need paying. Now, after about 6 months of being at this firm and seeing multiple people getting fired, I thought I really need to kind of find a secondary solution, like a backup plan, so that I've got an additional source of income just in case the worst does happen and I do get fired. So you can see just how negative I was and how bad my anxiety was. And I'm really grateful for actually kind of being put in that position, like weirdly enough, because that's exactly what brought me to find Amazon FBA. I was searching online looking for ways to make money, and I came across some YouTube videos on Amazon FBA, and as soon as I discovered it, it's kind of like I knew that it was going to be life-changing, because e-commerce, selling online, having my own business is something that I'd always been interested in, but I just didn't know how to do it. So after about 3 or 4 months of learning about Amazon FBA, I took a course and then I launched my own product, and I started to make sales on Amazon. And this is where the life-changing thing happened for me. My anxiety literally evaporated and completely disappeared, and I became a very different person. And the reason for that is that I found something that I really enjoyed doing, and I had a secondary income stream coming in, so I knew that if the worst did come to the worst and I did get fired, I would have that safety blanket of Amazon FBA to protect me. And genuinely, guys, I'm not just saying this, but this is definitely the number one reason for me as to why Amazon FBA has been brilliant, that it's completely changed the way I am at work. It's completely increased my confidence, it's reduced my anxiety, and it's made me a much better performer. Now, thankfully, I actually managed to quit my job for that firm anyway. I didn't get fired, which was an absolute godsend, and I've moved to a much better bank now that treats their employees far better. But that doesn't change the fact that I still believe that Amazon FBA has completely gotten rid of all of my anxiety and worries about losing my job, losing my sole income stream, and basically that people are trying to fire me. And just as an example, at work now, I'm so much more confident in myself. Previously, if I had an idea or wanted to say something in a meeting, I would be thinking, do you know what, maybe it's not a good idea to say that because people might not think that it's a smart thing to say, and then I might be on the list of people getting fired. So you can see exactly how bad my anxiety was. Whereas now, it's not that I just don't care, but I'm just so much more confident in myself and like my thinking, and just generally I'm a lot more of a confident person. And I really think that it's not only just the fact that Amazon FBA has given me that additional income stream, but it's also the fact that it's taught me all of those additional things that I've spoken about earlier in the video, about learning how businesses work, about learning all these different transferable life skills. They've all kind of come together and really helped me, like in the workplace, and just like being like just generally in conversation and generally just as a person. So that for me, guys, is my number one reason as to how Amazon FBA has changed my life. I think it would probably surprise most of you, because I think most people would think it's just because of the huge amounts of money you can earn. But I would say it's kind of all of those combined into one, and ultimately it's the fact that it has completely gotten rid of my worries and my anxieties in the workplace, which has ultimately made me a much better person, and I think generally it's made me a much better performer as well. So hopefully, guys, now that you've watched this video, there were a couple of reasons there that did strike a chord with you, but I really hope that the number one reason of mine, which is the reduced anxiety, is the one that kind of hits you the most and makes you realize that Amazon FBA really can be life-changing, not just in making a huge amount of money, but in lots of other reasons as well. So if you are new to the channel and you don't know much about Amazon FBA, I do run a free training session. The link is in the description below. If you want to learn more about it, if you want to learn a bit more about how I do my thinking when it comes to product research and how I launch my products, you can watch the training in the link below, and you can also just go through my YouTube channel as well. And if you do have any other questions, guys, feel free to email me, post a comment in the comment box below, or just come and join me in the Amazon FBA Smashers group on Facebook. As you can tell from this video and on my channel in general, I absolutely love this stuff, and I'm more than happy to help you guys learn about Amazon FBA so that you can learn to smash it as well. So that is it for this week, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, please remember to subscribe and give me a like, and I will see you next time.